Well, Lincoln's words are obviously extremely well known in this country and all around the world. They're inscribed in marble. They're everywhere on the internet. It's easy to forget that Lincoln actually wrote these words by hand, and that these documents, many of them exist, that show him doing the work of writing. This always seemed to me the closest you could possibly get to this man. What he put on the page, I think, is the most intimate glimpse of his mind and character and life. Lincoln knew he had done well with his second inaugural address, that the speech would wear rather well. Yet here he is, in a note penned 11 days afterwards, claiming that its central idea contains a humiliation, which, he said, falls most directly on myself. Lincoln is kind of a demigod today, and it's easy to forget how incredibly unpopular he was. And that adversity, I think, really shaped and formed and in many ways improved his character and his service. This juxtaposition deserves our attention because it highlights a critical dynamic in Lincoln, how he worked with supreme confidence from a place of radical humility. And one of the reasons Lincoln is written about so often is that he's just such an appealing and mysterious character. So you start to grapple with him, and question after question arises, and he's someone who really grows on you. The core of the second inaugural was a theological proposition that God may have brought the Civil War as the woe due to both North and South for the offense of slavery. How do you reconcile the fact that, slavery exists with the fact that this is a country dedicated to the idea of freedom? And Lincoln actually thought about that really hard, and he came up with an answer. While partisans draped their sectional arguments in pieties, he saw that no one knew God's purpose in the war, that the true cause for such a cataclysm could not be known by mortal minds, and that the extent and duration of the war belied claims of righteousness. He could tell this truth because he saw it for himself, that all men are created equal was like a kind of a promissory note. It wasn't a statement of fact, it was a statement of ideal, and he believed it was the intent of the founders that we needed to be steadily moving towards that. Lincoln's confidence, alongside his humiliation, forged itself into something better than intelligence. It was his wisdom. His presidency is a story that unfolds with a lot of drama. Here's Lincoln behind the scenes. You think of it as kind of a DVD extra